This is David.
Oh, hi.
This is what David's done. David went to college. Annapolis. David taught himself to play piano, the sax, even the bagpipes. Well, maybe not the bagpipes. David was NBA Rookie of the Year. He's also been to the Olympics twice. David even became a naval officer. David's sure done a lot. But you know one thing David's never done?
Drugs.
David doesn't do drugs. Maybe that's why he's done so much.
With the program. Madeline, Harry, and Lloyd, and Willie. Turn a Saturday morning upside down silly. Everybody wanna see what a mess we got. Reboot with Megabyte, Bob and Doc. Squishington, Molly, and Bobby say. It's okie dokie at the karaoke cafe. Tweety and the cat are hanging big. And the bunny man's gonna flip your wig. Get with the program. Fudge and Peter keep serving it out. You know ABC knows what's up. Get with the program.
Hi, kids. Rocky here with big news. Schoolhouse Rock is coming on CD-ROM. Think of the fun you'll have exploring the town of Conjunction Junction, where learning is an adventure. First up, Grammar Rock, with 18 cool activities to build language skills, like reading, vocabulary, and understanding the parts of speech. Hey, there's the bell. It's arcade time. Look out for that big, hungry bear. There's loads of surprises on each Schoolhouse Rock CD-ROM to help make learning fun. So parents, if you're listening, call 1-800-KID-EXPERT and say, I saw the video. Because the first 10,000 people to pre-order the Grammar Rock CD-ROM will get a $10 discount. And that's a smart start for your Schoolhouse Rock CD-ROM collection. Brought to you by Creative Wonders.
It's 1995. The world we know has changed.
Put on your Sunday best, kids. We're going to Sears.
But the Brady's
Groovy.
never will.
Out of sight.
With Mike,
If your sister would wear her glasses, she just might improve her eyesight.
Carol,
Honey, I think you've stirred that enough.
I'm not stirring. I'm looking for Katie Carryall's underpants.
Greg,
All right, this is a car, Jack.
Of course this is a car. But my name's not Jack, it's Greg.
Bobby, and Cindy.
So why don't you hop back on the Swiss Miss package where you belong, huh?
Okay.
Peter,
Lunch looks pretty rank.
What'd you bring?
Pork chops and applesauce.
Jan,
Hi, everybody. It's the new Jan Brady.
Marcia,
Dinner's ready. Oh, my nose.
I'm sure no one will ever notice.
There will never be a teen model.
and Alice. The Brady Bunch movie.
Marcia did it again. Marcia.
As your body grows big,
Your mind loves power.
it's great to learn.
Because knowledge is power.
It's Schoolhouse Rocky, the chip off the block of your favorite Schoolhouse Rock.
Come on, let's follow him down to that place of renown. They call it the Conjunction Junction Diner. With Schoolhouse Rocky and friends, you know the fun never ends. Cause everyone's a Schoolhouse Rock headliner.
Extra.
Rocky gets the diner cooking in short order when he feeds that video jukebox and nickels, dimes, and quarters.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Hooking up multiplication to music. Rocking with grammar and science and history.
With music on the menu, learning's really no mystery.
When you're in conjunction junction,
Fun's your function.
picking up some knowledge, rocking round the clock. Accumulating power, watching Schoolhouse Rock.
Hey, Chef, what's the special today?
Homemade apple pie with a side of America.
America Rock starts with No More Kings.
Rocking and a rolling, smishing and a splashing over the horizon. What can it be?
The pilgrims sailed the sea to find a place to call their own. In their
airship Mayflower, they hope to find a better home. They finally knocked on Plymouth Rock, and someone said, we're there. It may not look like home, but at this point I don't care. Oh, they were missing Mother England. They swore their loyalty until the very end. Anything you say, King, it's okay, King. You know it's kind of scary on your own. Gonna build a new land the way we planned. Could you help us run it till it's grown? They planted corn, you know. They built their houses one by one. And bit by bit they worked until the colonies were done. They looked around, yeah, up and down, and someone said, hooray! If the king could only see us now, he would be proud of us today. They knew that now they'd run their own land. But George III still vowed he'd rule them to the end. Anything I say, do it my way now. Anything I say, do it my way. Don't you get to feeling independent, 'cause I'm gonna force you to obey. He taxed their property, he didn't give them any choice. And back in England, he didn't give them any voice. That's called taxation without representation, and it's not fair. But when the colonies complained, the king said, I don't care. He even has the nerve to tax our cup of tea. To put it kindly, King, we really don't agree. Gonna show you how we feel. We're gonna dump this tea and turn this harbor into the biggest cup of tea in history. They wanted no more Mother England. They knew the time had come for them to take command. It's very clear you're being unfair, King. No matter what you say, we won't obey. Gonna hold a revolution now, King, and we're gonna run it all away with no more king.
We're gonna elect a president.
No more king.
He's gonna do what the people want.
No more king.
We're gonna run things our way.
No more king.
Nobody's gonna tell us what to do.
Rocking and a rolling, swishing and a splashing over the horizon. What can it be? Looks like it's going to be a free country.
And now let's see some fireworks.
Ooh, there's gonna be fireworks. On the 4th of July. Red, white, and blue fireworks like diamonds in the sky. We're gonna shoot the entire works on fireworks that really show, oh yeah, we declared our liberty 200 years ago. In 1776, there were fireworks too. The original colonists, you know their tempers blew. Like Thomas Paine once wrote, it's only common sense that if a government won't give you your basic rights, you better get another government. And though some people tried to fight it, well, a committee was formed to write it. Benjamin Franklin, Philip Livingston, John Adams, Roger Sherman, Thomas Jefferson, they got it done. The Declaration, the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The Continental Congress said that we were free. Said we had the right of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Ooh, when England heard the news, they blew their stack. But the colonists lit the fuse, there'd be no turning back. They'd had enough of injustice now, but even if it really hurts, oh yeah, if you don't give us our freedom now, you're gonna see some fireworks. And on the 4th of July, they signed it, and 56 names underlined it. And now to honor those first 13 states, we turn the sky into a birthday birthday cake, they got it done. The Declaration of Independence in 1776. Continental Congress said that we were free. Said we had the right of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal,
that they are endowed by their Creator
with certain unalienable rights,
that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And if there's one thing that makes me happy, then you know that it's there's gonna be fireworks.
How would you like to hear the shot heard round the world?
The British are coming! The British are coming!
Now the ride of Paul Revere set the nation on its ear, and the shot at Lexington heard round the world. When the British fired in the early dawn, the War of Independence had begun. The die was cast, the rebel flag unfurled, and on to Concord marched the foe to seize the arsenal there, you know, waking folks and searching all around. Till our militia stopped them in their tracks. At the old North Bridge we turned them back and chased those redcoats back to Boston town. And the shot heard round the world was the start of the revolution. The Minutemen were ready on the move. Take your powder, take your gun, report to General Washington. Hurry men, there's not an hour to lose. Now at famous Bunker Hill, even though we lost, it was quite a thrill. The rebel Colonel Prescott proved he was wise. Outnumbered and low on ammunition as the British stormed his position, he said, hold your fire till you see the whites of their eyes. Though the next few years were rough, General Washington's men proved they were tough. Those hungry, ragged boys would not be beat. One night they crossed the Delaware, surprised the Hessians in their lair, and at Valley Forge they just bundled up their feet. Now the shot heard round the world was the start of the revolution. The Minutemen were ready on the move. Take your blanket, take your sun, report to General Washington. We've got our rights and now it's time to prove. Well, they showed such determination that they won the admiration of countries across the sea like France and Spain, who loaned the colony ships and guns and put the British on the run and the Continental Army on its feet again. And though they lost some battles too, the Americans swore they'd see it through. Their raiding parties kept up hit and run. At Yorktown, the British could not retreat, bottled up by Washington and the French fleet. Cornwallis surrendered, and finally we had won. Hooray! From the shot heard round the world to the end of the revolution, the Continental rabble took the day, and the father of our country beat the British there at Yorktown and brought freedom to you and me and the USA. God bless America. Let freedom ring. The preamble.
Hey, do you know about the USA? Do you know about the government? Can you tell me about the Constitution? Hey, learn about the USA. In 1787, I'm told our founding fathers did agree to write a list of principles for keeping people free. The USA was just starting out a whole brand new country, and so our people spelled it out, the things that we should be. And they put those principles down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since then. The first part of the Constitution is called the preamble and tells what those founding fathers set out to do.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. In 1787, I'm told, our founding fathers all sat down and wrote a list of principles that's known the world around. The USA was just starting out a whole brand new country, and so our people spelled it out. They wanted a land of liberty, and the preamble goes like this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, for the United States of America.
Everybody needs a little elbow room.
One thing you will discover when you get next to one another is everybody needs some elbow room, elbow room. It's nice when you're kind of cozy, but not when you're tangled nose to nosy. Oh, everybody needs some elbow, needs a little elbow room. That's how it was in the early days of the USA. The people kept coming to settle, though the East was the only place there was to go. The president was Thomas Jefferson. He made a deal with Napoleon. How'd you like to sell a mile or two?
Or 3 or 100 or 1,000.
And so in 1803 the Louisiana Territory was sold to us without a fuss and gave us lots of elbow room. Oh, elbow room, elbow room. Got to get us some elbow room. It's the West or bust. In God we trust. There's a new land out there. Lewis and Clark volunteered to go. Goodbye, good luck, wear your overcoat. They prepared for good times and for bad, and for bad. They hired a Sacagawea to be their guide. She led them all across the countryside, reached the coast, and found the most elbow room we've ever had. The way was opened up for folks with bravery. There were plenty of fights to win land rights, but the West was meant to be. It was a manifest destiny. The trappers, traders, and the peddlers, the politicians and the settlers, they got there by any way they could. The gold rush trampled down the wilderness, the railroads spread across from east to west, and soon the rest was opened up for good. And now we jet from east to west, goodbye New York, hello LA. But it took those early folks to open up the way. Now we've got a lot of room to be growing from sea to shining sea. Guess that we have got our elbow room, elbow room. But if there should ever come a time when we're crowded up together, I'm sure we'll find some elbow room up on the elbow room. Oh, elbow room, elbow room. Got to get us some elbow room. It's the moon or bust. In God we trust. There's a new land up there.
The Great American Melting Pot.
My grandmother came from Russia, a satchel on her knee. My grandfather had his father's cap he brought from Italy. They'd heard about a country where life might let them win. They paid the fare to America and there they melted in. Lovely Lady Liberty with her book of recipes and the finest one she's got. The Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot.
America was founded by the English, but also by the Germans, Dutch, and French.
The principle still sticks, our heritage is mixed.
So any kid could be the president.
You simply melt right in. It doesn't matter what your skin, it doesn't matter where you're from or your religion. You jump right into the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot. Ooh, what a stew, red, white, and blue. America was the new world and Europe was the old. America was the land of hope, or so the legend told. On steamboats by the millions in search of honest pay, those 19th century immigrants sailed to reach the USA. Lovely Lady Liberty with her book of recipes and the finest one she's got is the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot. What good ingredients, liberty, and immigrants. They brought their country's customs, their language, and their ways. They filled the factories to the soil, helped build the USA. Go on and ask your grandma, hear what she has to tell. How great to be American and something else as well. Lovely Lady Liberty with her book of recipes and the finest one she's got is the Great American Melting Pot, 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 the Great American Melting Pot.
Mother Necessity. Mother Necessity with her good intentions. Where would this country be without her invention?
Oh, things were rotten in the land of cotton until Whitney made the cotton gin. Now old times there will soon be forgotten, for it did the work of 100 men.
Mother Necessity, where would we be?
Mother Edison worked late each night. It went well until the fading light.
Little Thomas Alva Edison said, I'll grow up to be a great inventor and I'll make a lamp to help my mommy see. Wowee, what an excellent application of electricity.
He worked hard and pulled a switch. He was smart and very rich.
Mother Necessity, help us to see. Now the mother of Samuel Morse always sent the lad out on a horse.
Take a message to Miss Peavy on the far side of the pike. Spread the word about the quilting bee next Saturday night.
Little Samuel started thinking of a way to send a message, though he'd never met a horse he didn't like.
Mother Necessity. Elias, can you help me with my sewing?
Mother dear, I'll fulfill your fondest wishes.
Elias, how?
This machine I've made will keep your sewing really flowing. In fact, we'll keep the whole nation in stitches.
Mother necessity, where would we be?
Bring me on the Alexander Graham Bell. Thank you, Alexander, for the phone. I'd never get a date, I'd never get a job unless I had a telephone.
Mother necessity.
Oh, Bill Wilbur, go outside this minute, and they'll continue with your silly playing. Take these players and take those blueprints, take that funny looking thing, take that wheel and take that wing. I can't hear a thing that Mrs. Johnson's saying. Oh, Bill Wilbur, the night boys.
Mother necessity, where would we be?
When Robert Fulton made the steamboat go.
When Marconi gave us wireless radio.
When Henry Ford cranked up his first dollar.
When Samuel Slater showed us how the factories go.
When all the iron and all the coal and steel and Yankee, don't you know
They made this country really grow, 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 grow. With mother necessity, and where would we be without the inventions of your progeny?
And now, suffering till suffrage.
Now you have heard of women's rights and how we've tried to reach new heights. If we're all created equal, that's us too. Yeah, but you will probably not recall that it's not been too long at all since we even had the right to cast a vote. Well, sure, some men bow down and call us misses. Yeah. Let us hang the watch out and wash the dishes. But when the time rolled around to elect a president, what did they say, sister?
What did they say?
They said, see you later, alligator. And don't forget my mashed potatoes, 'cause I'm going downtown to cast my vote for president. Oh, we were suffering until suffering. Not a woman here could vote no matter what age. Then the 19th Amendment struck down that restrictive rule. Oh, yeah. And now we pull down on the lever, cast our ballot, and we endeavor to improve our country, state, county, town, and school. Tell them about those pilgrim women who braved the vote. They could cook the turkey, but they could not vote. Even Betsy Ross, who showed the flag, was left behind that first election day.
What a shame, sisters!
Then Susan B., Anthony,
yeah,
and Julia Howe, Lucretia Mott,
and others.
They showed us how they carried signs and marched in lines until at long last the law was passed. Oh, we were suffering until suffrage. Not a woman here could vote no matter what age. Then the 19th Amendment struck down that restrictive rule.
Oh, yeah.
And now we cool down on the lever, cast our ballot, and we endeavor to improve our country, state, county, town, and school. Yeah. Yes, the 19th Amendment struck down that restrictive rule. Yes, the 19th Amendment struck down that restrictive rule. All right, we got it now. Since 1920, sisters unite.
I'm just a bill.
Woo, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm gonna live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
And last, the three-ring government.
Gonna have a three-ring circus someday. People will say it's a fine one, son. Gonna have a three-ring circus someday. People will come from miles around. Lions, tigers, acrobats and jugglers and clowns galore. Tightrope walkers, pony riders, elephants and so much more. Guess I got the idea right here at school. Felt like a fool when they called my name, talking about the government and how it's arranged, divided in three like a circus. Ring one, executive. Two is legislative, that's Congress. Ring three, judiciary. See, it's kinda like my circus. Step right up and visit ring number one. The show's just begun, meet the president. I am here to see that the laws get done. The ringmaster of the government. On with the show! Hurry, hurry, hurry to ring number two. See what they do in the Congress. Passing laws and juggling bills. Oh, it's quite a thrill in the Congress. Focus your attention on ring number three. The judiciary's in the spotlight. The courts take the laws and they tame the crimes, balancing the wrongs with your rights. No one part can be more powerful than any other is. Each controls the other, you see, and that's what we call checks and balances.
president says, well, everybody's act is part of the show, and no one's job is more important. The audience is kinda like the country, you know, keeping an eye on their performance. Ring 1, executive. 2 is legislative, that's Congress. Ring 3, judiciary. See, it's kinda like my circus. My circus, I'm gonna have a 3-ring circus someday. People will say it's a fine one, son. But until I get it, I'll do my thing. With government, it's got 3